How does manifestation work for healing your health?
In simple ways, if you can't feel it, then it can't happen yet. I had to feel as if I was already healing before I healed. I had to see what my life was going to be like and be okay with that reality before I could walk that path. Meaning, I got okay in my head with eliminating toxic foods and eliminating toxic lifestyle and journaling every single day, every single symptom for months at end. I had data collected. I got okay with that mentally and spiritually before I was able to put it into practice to manifest it. So it's believing is seeing, okay? Seeing is not believing. They got it wrong, okay? It has to start from within. If you can't feel the energy that I can do this, that's a feeling, not a truth. Truth is a perspective. We have to work on how we feel, not what we think we know. We sit here and we talk and we talk. You know why we constantly listen? It's because we're conditioning our feelings and we don't even know that. Your goal is to change how you feel about life, not what is truth, because truth is not real. It's all what you decide is truth. Today, a good day or bad day.
Now, what do you mean truth is not real? Because that might be like a big gong hit to someone. What do you mean truth is not real? I like this.
So a perspective of truth simply means that you get to decide what is good or bad with integrity in your soul, and you get to decide what success is. People, especially entrepreneurs, have this trouble. They'll go make $1 million, and then after they'll get this dopamine hit, and then they won't feel successful a year later if they only have $1 million.
Yes, I've heard about this.
So this is a perspective of truth.
Yeah.
And let's say that when I was sick, when I was a victim of this, my mom or dad or my girlfriend at the time would call and say, "How are you?" And I would say, "I'm okay, but I'm still bleeding." When I decided to heal, I'd answer the phone and they'd say, "How are you?" And I'd say, "Guess what? The blood's 30% down. I'm already healing. I'm already good. If I can get 30%, I can get 50. I'm already good. I'm on the road." So instead of I still have blood in the stool, it's 30% less than last week. Instead of I'm still having 6 bowel movements a day, I was having 12. So I was living in the reality. I chose a reality that I'm already healed, that I'm already good, that my body is already healing. I'm on my way up. Instead of living in the reality that I'm not there yet and this can't work and I'm exhausted, I'm going to burn out and quit.
Wow. You know, you just hit my heart because we were in Cardiff before we moved to Austin. And our downstairs neighbor came to me one day and he said, "Hey, yeah, I just want to let you know I got diagnosed with cancer." And I immediately, because I was already deep into growth and development then, I said, "Great. Here's a book." I'd interviewed someone about cancer and healing cancer. And I said, "As you read this book, I just see you in the highest vitality and light right now in this moment. It's not even a reality for me that you're going to be taken from this earth from cancer." And I could tell as I gave him the book, he didn't believe it yet. It's not like I'm better than him, or it's just different stages of awareness. He ended up passing away. And then we actually conceived our son in that same house. So one life entered, one life came in.
Wow.
One life exited, one life came in. And it's just so surreal how the power of thought and the power of word is such a huge piece of healing. Yes, we'll get into the biology for sure.
Yes.
But the way you're speaking about, and I've heard Conor McGregor, we just had Garen Jones in the studio.
Yeah.
Any single person that's ever created anything of magnitude where they went through their own process had to come to terms with no one's coming to save me. And that's actually good because I can save myself and I can do it through the power of that which created me.
And you can save the ones you love. Greatest gift of all. The greatest gift is not the saving of self. It's the saving of those that you love. If you truly love somebody that much, you'll give your life for them.
Yeah.
I'd rather die and let my sons live right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I am so happy that I have the gift to help them and make sure this doesn't happen to them. I would rather go through it. Give it to me. Don't give it to my mom. Don't give it to my sons. Don't give it to my wife. Don't give it to my best friend. Give it to me. And then it's a matter of deciding, like when you said that, the missing piece I think people have is feeling is not something you just choose. It's something you condition. It's like a muscle. You can't just wake up and everyone's going, I want to believe it. Belief is faith plus hard work. Okay. If you don't have faith and you don't put hard work in, you can't create the recipe of belief. So you have to decide that you're going to believe, you're going to have faith in something. Faith is not as powerful of an energy as belief. Belief is the most powerful energy, but you have to build it. So I've got to start with faith, and then I have to take massive daily action, conviction over and over and over. And I promise you, if you even do it for 3 days, your belief meter, if I said, how much do you believe you can actually heal cancer? Out of 100%, it just went from 20 to 27% in 7 days. So as the belief meter goes up, now you got the law of attraction. Every vibration, every word out of your mouth, every conversation is now more beautiful, more helpful for everyone else, including yourself. Because I believe what is good for others is also good for yourself. We are all combined. We are all the same. And through that pain, I also learned that things that actually make me happy, I still had. That was my anchor. I had my eyes. Would you rather have Crohn's disease or go blind? I was like, oh, give me the Crohn's disease. I love my eyes. I love the vision. I want to be able to see my wife. I want to see my kids.
Yeah.
I have my tongue. I have my spirit. I have my phone. Hey, how are you? I didn't lose you. I have my parents. We sometimes we lose things and sometimes we gain things, but when you're on your deathbed, just start writing down all the things you'll be grateful for when you die and see how much you've lost. What is actually gone? That's my anchor. You know, like The Rock always talks about his anchor in the gym. My anchor is just what I like, gratitude of like what is actually matters. You can put me in a $10 million house. If I'm not surrounded by people I love, I'm not energetically feeling great. I feed off those I love and they feed off me. It's a never ending energy. And so I just started pouring into those I love. That's how I got happy. I couldn't walk, but I got happy. You look at pictures of me when I was sick, it's all smiles. Because I had a calendar of calling people I loved and making their day better. Dane, you almost died. How are you? Don't worry about me. How are you? How's your fiance? How's the wedding going? How you feeling? Have you talked to her about this? Have you done with this? I know me and you talked about things like, pornography. We talked about monogamy and we talked about, ego. How you doing with all that? And I can have an hour and a half conversation to hold space for someone, but I can't even leave the house and I've got to use the bathroom 20 times a day. But I feel good in myself because I'm holding space for that person I care about with secretive, very private conversations that we can build trust and I can love on them.
My mom was recently in the hospital.
Yeah.
And she's had a journey with bipolar and a lot of health issues. And I called her and I set an intention before I got on the phone. And I said, I'm just going to enjoy this time with her. And I got on the phone and I said, don't worry. Like when your car needs an oil change and a tire change, you're just going to get that. I just simplified it for her.
Wow.
You're just going to get an oil change of medication, right? I'll see you when you get out. I already see you in the highest light and vitality. I already see you healthy. I see you here for Christmas. I see you here right now with your grandchildren. And that created this space where we laughed. It was the most I've laughed in like months. And I just laugh with my mom as she's on a bed in the hospital. That's medicine, dude. What you're talking about, I just lived through. You lived through it on a much bigger lens. But this medicinal aspect of human connection is probably, I wonder how you feel about this, as important, if not even more important than holistic and Western medicine put together. It's
more important because it's the foundation of everything. Because it is a ripple effect to every conversation, where you go, what you try, what you search. It all, if you had that bad conversation, it may have affected the next conversation and the next moment in time. It's a ripple effect. That's why the law of attraction is so amazing. But if you break that down, you used your intuition to know. You already had experience. So you used wisdom and your refined intuition to say, this is what I want. You used your creative ability to imagine what kind of relationship you wanted to build with your mom. So you started creating a new relationship that you didn't have to, and it wasn't your fault if it didn't get created. But you decided to go forward and say, I'm going to willingly create it because I want it, not because I have to, but I want it. Okay. And then you manifested having better energy and a better conversation with your mom than you would have. If you hadn't have done that, it would have been a 3 out of 10, but you made it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's what manifestation is. You did that. You created that. And you used your intuition, your manifestation and creation to see that through. So you have to get happy on the journey. People talk about the process. You don't understand that life is one process. There's always something to want tomorrow. The good side of that coin is asking it is given, right? I can always ask. There's always something to dream of. The bad side is that we can fall into this place where we never actually arrive. We're never actually here. And so we're choosing to say, can I love the process of life and what actually matters? When you smile in life, that's a gift. That's everything. Everything else is fear. The materialism and the money, that's a lot of fear. A lot of times we do that so we have a safe space to then what? Everything was taken away from me, but yet I had everything. I would wake up, especially when I was housebound for a year, and someone goes, what were you doing? Did you go cuckoo? I said, no, I had a full-time job. I started going to bed. My bedtime was 9:30. I was 26. who was just in college a few years ago. This was not how the social norm was. This wasn't the shared reality I was experiencing my entire life. All of a sudden, I'm in bed by 9:30. I'm up at 6. The first thing I do and the last thing I do is I pray. It wasn't like I just intuitively felt I'm dying. There's nothing I can do. My mom, my dad can't save me. My doctors, all the GI doctors I saw at UCLA, Cedars-Sinai, it was total colectomy and biologics for the rest of your life at 25 years old. And I wasn't willing to accept that. So if you're not willing to accept the reality that you're in, you have to start using your divine power to create a new reality. And guess what? You get to decide what truth is or what success is. So I started with this. What can only help me and cannot hurt me? What has no risk, right? Think of it like an investment of your time. What has no risk? Prayer and purpose have 0 risk. What else has no risk? Morning sun, feet in the ground, gardening. To this day, I still take care of about 150 plants. I was looking outside on your porch. I saw those plants. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get along.
Yeah.
I love plants because they're living. And I had this one ironic thought when I was getting impatient one morning. I said, you know, those tomatoes growing is kind of like me healing. If I look at it every day, I get impatient. But then 2 weeks later, I can't believe the results.
Oh yeah. The watch pot never boils.
Right?
It just doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And so I started realizing all these things I could do right now that got me happy. I started dedicating time to calling people from my life that I wanted just to be there for. And I never made it about me. I made it about them because when you're sick and you're depressed, you need to feel of value again to the world. When I said I was depressed, what I was saying is I'm no longer of value. When someone has to wipe your butt and take you inside and change your pan and it's your mom and you're feeling the utmost shame you've ever felt in your life and you just want to cry and crawl into a dark room and never come out and you're pooping glass, it feels like you're pooping glass and you look in the mirror and you're 120 pounds, you're a shell of yourself. You know, one of the hardest things spiritually is that you are no longer of value to anybody. Everyone has to do everything for you. I think that maybe happens to people when they get older too. I literally lost the ability to do anything. And so what I took back was my power to be of value to others. And that is so spiritually nourishing. When you get chronically sick and you go through that much pain, you start realizing if you really meditate on it, if you take the journey and you will start to breathe with yourself and you start to read and you'll let go of all the rat race for just a second. I didn't need to make money and I was lucky because I didn't have kids yet and I was young. God gave me that blessing. And I had worked at a deal where I had low rent in Santa Monica and I was 2 miles from the beach. That was another blessing. I could just go. And I started realizing all these truths about life, about what is happiness and what is balance and what is it to feel? What is a feeling? Like thoughts and feelings are 2 different things. I just realized I had all these epiphanies from reading and living and nearly dying. And through that pain, I started having this acknowledgement, this growth. And I started realizing just like how to create happiness and how to deal with negative energy. Like if someone came to me with stress and I got stressed, I'd feel more pain in my stomach.
It would start to flare.
I would have a bowel movement.
Yeah.
I'd have mucus, sediment, and blood from raising my voice and holding my diaphragm. And no, that's not right. No. Yeah. And so I had to realize like, you got to breathe. You got to start with, and what you do energetically. The crazy thing, another epiphany I had when I was doing this is energy has a direct impact on the physical. Meaning if I am in the parasympathetic, I digest better. My organs work better. I breathe more deeper, meaning I'm getting more oxygen in my red blood cells, which I need to even heal the wounds in my body. You don't have hemoglobin, you can't heal. Your heart's not gonna work right. You're constantly in the sympathetic state, you're gonna be pumping adrenaline, you're gonna get even worse adrenal fatigue, which is a core problem in the biology of autoimmune, is the adrenals. That's why we get stressed, and this autoimmune reaction flares because we're getting adrenal exhaustion, one of the core problems. And that's why prednisone makes it worse, because it's a steroid, it's a cortisol steroid. It's a fake hormone that can put more pressure on our adrenal glands. So I'm reading, I'm having epiphanies, and I'm learning how to create laughter. Like what you did with your mom was perfect. You created that. You knew you could come with a certain angle and you could ping pong with her, and then you both had this euphoric experience.
Yeah.
And you just chose it. And it's like, wait, what? Is this a good day or bad day?
But it's
am I sick or am I blessed?
If you love that video, you'll love the one on the screen right now. Click the one on the screen and enjoy.